There is someone in your life right now who laughs at your jokes, asks about your day, remembers your birthday, and secretly, quietly, hopes that everything you are building falls apart. And the most dangerous part? You probably consider them a friend. You probably trust them. You probably tell them your plans before you tell anyone else. And every time you do, you are handing a map of your vulnerabilities to the one person who wants to use it against you. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his private journal, a journal never meant for anyone else to read, quote, "How much more grievous are the consequences of anger than the causes of it." But there is something even more grievous than anger. And that is the smile of someone who hates you in silence. Because anger, you can see. Anger announces itself. But disguised contempt, that is the blade you never feel until you are already bleeding. Today, we are going to pull back the mask. Not with paranoia, but with precision. With stoic discernment. With the cold clarity of someone who has finally learned to see. The first sign. They celebrate your wins, but always late. Pay attention to this. When something good happens to you, a promotion, a new relationship, a breakthrough, watch how long it takes certain people to acknowledge it. Genuine happiness for someone else is immediate. It is reflexive. It does not need time to prepare. But the person who secretly resents your success, their congratulations arrive with a strange delay. Hours later. Sometimes days. And when those words finally come, they feel hollow. Rehearsed. Like lines read from a script they did not want to write. Here is what most people do not understand. Psychologist Dr. Susan Whitbourne at the University of Massachusetts studied the phenomenon she calls benign envy versus malicious envy. Benign envy makes someone think, good for them, I want that too. Malicious envy makes someone think, why them and not me? The person consumed by malicious envy needs time to process your good news, because their first internal reaction is pain. Your success physically hurts them. So they delay. They compose themselves. And then they deliver a congratulations that sounds almost perfect. Almost. Seneca warned us about this nearly 2,000 years ago. He wrote, quote, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a great deal of it on people who would not waste a moment on us." The second sign is even more subtle. And far more revealing. They remember every detail of your failures, but conveniently forget your achievements. Think about it. You share a setback with someone. A business that did not work out. A relationship that ended. A goal you missed. Months later, they bring it up. Casually. Hey, whatever happened with that thing that fell through? They remember the exact details. The dates. The circumstances. It is stored in their memory like a trophy. But your wins, your breakthroughs, somehow, those slip their mind. Oh, I didn't know you got promoted. When did that happen? They knew. They saw the post. They heard the news. But acknowledging your success out loud costs them something they are not willing to pay. This is what psychologists call selective attention bias, and when it is weaponized in relationships, it becomes a tool of quiet psychological erosion. Over time, you start to feel like the only things that define you are your mistakes. Not because that is true, but because the person next to you only ever reflects your failures back at you. Epictetus said something that cuts straight to the heart of this. Quote, "If anyone tells you that a certain person speaks ill of you, do not make excuses about what is said of you, but answer, he was ignorant of my other faults, else he would not have mentioned these alone." The Stoics understood that people reveal themselves not by what they say about you, but by what they choose to remember. Now here is where it gets interesting. The third sign. They subtly redirect conversations away from your success and toward your struggles. You sit down with this person. You are excited. You start telling them about something great that happened. And within minutes, sometimes seconds, the conversation has shifted. It has been rerouted. You are no longer talking about your win. You are talking about the risks, the problems, the things that could still go wrong. And somehow, you do not even notice it happened. This technique has a name in psychology. It is called conversational narcissism, a term coined by sociologist Charles Derber. But when used by a covert enemy, it becomes something even more insidious. It becomes conversational sabotage. They are not just steering the conversation toward themselves. They are steering it away from your light. Because your light makes their shadow feel darker. They will say things like, "That's great, but aren't you worried about?" Or, "I'm happy for you, but have you thought about what happens if?" Notice the word "but." It erases everything before it. It is a linguistic trapdoor. And they use it every single time. Marcus Aurelius wrote, quote, "The object of life is not to be on the side of the majority, but to escape finding oneself in the ranks of the insane." And there is a quiet insanity in allowing someone to consistently diminish your joy, and calling it friendship. Pay attention to how you feel after conversations. Not during. After. If you walked in feeling excited and walked out feeling doubtful, that is not a coincidence. That is a pattern. And patterns do not lie. Now. The fourth sign. And this is the one they cannot fake. Their body language contradicts their words. You can rehearse what you say. You can control your tone. You can time your response. But the body tells the truth even when the mouth is lying. Dr. Paul Ekman, the psychologist who spent over 40 years studying facial expressions, discovered what he called microexpressions. These are involuntary facial movements that last less than half a second. They are nearly impossible to suppress. And one of the most telling microexpressions is contempt. It looks like this. One corner of the mouth tightens and raises slightly. Just one side. It is asymmetrical. It flashes across the face and vanishes. But it was there. And here is the terrifying part. Ekman's research found that contempt is the single most reliable predictor of relationship deterioration. More than anger. More than sadness. Contempt. That one-sided lip raise that lasts a fraction of a second. That is the face of someone who believes they are above you. And they just showed it while saying, "I'm so proud of you." The ancient Stoics did not have the science of microexpressions. But they had something just as sharp, observation. Epictetus taught, quote, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. But I would add this, we also have 2 eyes. And they are our most underused instruments of discernment. Stop listening only to what people say. Start watching what their face does when they say it." And now, the fifth sign. This one is the most dangerous of all. Because it comes disguised as love. They give you advice designed to slow you down, wrapped in the language of concern for your well-being. Maybe you should wait. Are you sure you're ready? I just don't want to see you get hurt. These sentences sound caring. They sound protective. But pay very close attention to when these words appear. They almost always show up at the exact moment you are about to take a leap. The exact moment you are about to level up. The exact moment you are about to outgrow them. In psychology, this is connected to what researchers call tall poppy syndrome, a well-documented social phenomenon, studied extensively in Australian and British culture, where people who rise above the group are actively cut down by those around them. Not by enemies. By friends. By family. By colleagues. The mechanism is not always hatred. Sometimes it is fear. Fear that if you grow, you will leave them behind. Fear that your success is a mirror reflecting their stagnation. And so they do not attack you. They caution you. They slow you down with kindness. They anchor you to the ground with words dressed up as wisdom. Seneca saw this with perfect clarity when he wrote, quote, "It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare, it is because we do not dare that things are difficult." Some of the difficulty you feel right now, that heaviness, that hesitation, is not coming from inside you. It was planted there by someone who needs you to stay exactly where you are. Not for your safety, for their comfort. So here is the deeper lesson. The one that connects everything. The Stoics were not naive about human nature. Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man in the Roman Empire, wrote in Meditations, quote, "Begin each day by telling yourself, today I shall be meeting with interference, ingratitude, insolence, disloyalty, ill will, and selfishness." He did not write that to be cynical. He wrote it to be prepared. He wrote it because expecting goodness from everyone is not optimism, it is blindness. And blindness in a world full of hidden motives is not innocence. It is a liability. But here is what separates Stoic discernment from paranoia. Paranoia says, trust no one. Stoicism says, see everyone clearly, and choose your trust wisely. You do not need to cut every person out of your life who shows one of these signs. What you need to do is stop giving your deepest plans, your most vulnerable moments, and your rawest emotions to people who have not earned the right to hold them. Not everyone who smiles at you deserves access to your inner world. Some people are just collecting information. And the information you give them will be used, not to help you, but to position themselves. Here is what you do. Starting today. First, observe the delay. When you share good news, measure the reaction time. Genuine joy is instant. Performed joy is calculated. Second, track the memory. Notice who remembers your failures and forgets your wins. That imbalance is not accidental. Third, monitor the redirect. After a conversation, ask yourself, did I leave feeling elevated or diminished? Your emotional state after an interaction is data. Use it. Fourth, watch the face. You do not need to be Paul Ekman. You just need to trust the flash of something wrong that you have been ignoring for months. That gut feeling is your subconscious reading micro-expressions faster than your conscious mind can process. Trust it. Fifth, question the caution. When someone tells you to slow down, ask yourself, does this person have a track record of encouraging my growth? Or do they only speak up when I am about to surpass them? The Stoics did not teach us to build walls. They taught us to build filters. To let the right people in and to let the wrong people reveal themselves through their own behavior. You do not have to confront anyone. You do not have to announce your awareness. You simply, quietly, reclassify them in your mind. Move them from trusted ally to observed acquaintance. Give them less. Watch more. Protect your energy, your plans, and your peace with the same discipline a Stoic emperor used to protect an empire. Remember this. The most dangerous person in your life is not the one who openly opposes you. It is the one who stands beside you, smiling, while quietly tying stones to your wings. See them clearly. And then, without anger, without hatred, without a single word of explanation, fly anyway.